Please welcome to the stage, Joanne Duffy. Hello. Yes, I am doing the Fame Lab final tomorrow. So I actually also have a radio program every week on the college radio station in NUIG. It's called Schrodinger's Chat. But it's off air at the moment. The station goes off air when students do their exams. So I have this tonight and Fame Lab tomorrow. So I'm hoping that'll tide me over in boring people by talking about science. So I have some stuff written on my hand. My hand is beautiful. So I suffer from chronic social anxiety, which might seem a bit counterintuitive because I'm currently standing on a stage talking to lots of people, but I'm desperately trying not to meet the eyes of anyone in here that I know. And I saw them come in earlier on and looked at my shoes. So basically the way social anxiety works, it means that, you know, I'm able to do this, and I've been a performer for a long, long time. I've been playing instruments and singing since I was a kid, but I can't like ring the Chinese, you know? And I can't, the Facebook introduced this wonderful feature that many of you will be familiar with, the scene feature and the tick. It's on WhatsApp as well. For most people, that means, oh great, they've seen my message, that's fine, they'll get back to me later. For me, it's confirmation of rejection. That's what it is. It's wonderful. So I was great fodder for bullies as a child because I am short, I am shit at GAA, and I have massive eyebrows. So when you get older, particularly as a woman, these things translate into you're not short anymore, you're petite. It's great. It doesn't matter that I'm shit at GAA anymore because I'm good at other athletic sports. And then the eyebrows thing, people ask me where I get my eyebrows done now, which is very confusing for me. Because the girls who would have bullied me as a child for having big eyebrows and called me a Neanderthal now ask me where I get them done, and they wear Led Zeppelin t-shirts, but ironically, so that's different. So I am, contrary to belief that you might have been led to believe that I'm a real scientist. I'm not. I have 6 exams left to go until I'm a real scientist. They're coming up in the next few weeks. And one of my lecturers is performing later on this evening. So one of the other ones emailed me earlier on to wish me congratulations. So that brings a grand total of 2 out of the 6 of my lecturers who know that I'm not studying, which is wonderful, wonderful news. Basically for the first semester of my final year, I worked on this research project. So effectively, what recombinant protein technology is the area that I'm kind of interested in. So basically you take a gene for something you're interested in, you force feed it to E. coli, and you make E. coli make your product. So loads of stuff you've used and touched in your lives is made this way. MSG in your Chinese and insulin for any diabetic friends in the audience. Don't know why that's endearing. But so what I was making was barnacle glue. So we're interested in it because it's really sticky. So if you were to ask a barnacle about its music taste, it might say it's not really that into heavy metal. It prefers to stick to the rock. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So during the project, everything that could possibly have gone wrong went wrong, which is generally how science works. Any scientist will tell you. So we were growing liquid cultures of E. coli. So you can hold the flask up to the light and you can tell different things. If light doesn't pass through it, you know your stuff's growing. And if light passes through it, you're fucked, basically. So that happened to me, and I could see all these white stringy bits, and I was very confused. And it turns out we had an infection with a virus that infects bacteria. So it's called bacteriophage. And we were like, well, this is great, because by the time it happens, you've lost a week of work. So we had to do some confirmatory experiments because you're not allowed to say in your thesis there was white stringy bits. You have to get empirical proof and stuff. So we did some experiments to check that the virus we thought was there. So it took a whole day, and then eventually when we had our gel run, we had to put it into a box with a UV light, and it runs it, and it comes up on the screen. So fingers crossed, really hoping we see what we want to see so that I at least have something to talk about why we failed in my thesis. And lo and behold, exactly what I wanted appeared on the screen. Exactly the virus I thought was causing the problem was there. Delighted. Took it off the machine, put it on the computer, was downloading it from Google Drive on my own laptop, and McAfee popped up and was scanning for viruses, and I was like, same. Again, I'm really sorry. I should probably just leave now. So lots of things have gone very well for me this year. It's been a strange year. Since when I say the year, I mean the academic year. So college has gone really well. I was in a position to give up a job that I hated. Loads of things have just really worked out for me. And I was talking to my sister about this the other day, and I was like, it's great, isn't it? I'm doing really well academically. Things are looking up for September this year. I'm really happy. And she was like, imagine if those bullies could see you now. And I was like, yeah, I'm still short, and I'm using shit bacteria to make barnacle glue. I'm not cool now. This is not, like, it, arguably I'm worse. Like, there's more material to work with here. I am the strangest person. Like, what? This is not normal. So, yeah, one of the other products that you can make the same way that I made this barnacle glue is stuff for vaccines. So that's kind of what I'm talking about in my FameLab final tomorrow. So basically, rather than introducing a whole big dangerous disease with all of its weaponry and stuff, or killing it with dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde, you don't want to be introducing that stuff into people's bodies. So instead of doing that, we just take the genes for some component on the surface of a disease and we express those in E. coli, and then that's safe to inject into people, and your immune system gets a chance to practice and make all the antibodies and so on. So that's another thing that's made that way. But there's a lot of controversy about vaccines. So like maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was about the MMR. So the MMR vaccine is measles, mumps, rubella, and the controversy started against that with a guy called Andrew Wakefield. I call him Andrew Wakefield and not Dr. Andrew Wakefield because he had his medical license revoked. Fair play to him. So he basically published this fraudulent paper that said the MMR was linked to autism because, as we all know, polio is worse than autism or something. And then another person, so anyone in the academic community will know that publishing and your citations are your bread and butter. They're your currency. They mean everything. So there's another person who's very well published who caused a lot of controversy with this, and her name is Jenny McCarthy. And she has been published in GQ, Playboy, Sports Illustrated. I mean, publications just out the wazoo. So she said that the MMR was linked to the autism that her son has, and has later claimed that her son has been cured of autism by a proper diet. I checked, that's not a real thing. So she's claiming that by eliminating gluten and other toxic substances from his body that he has been cured of autism, but that's not a real thing. So to that effect, I have written a song that I'm going to perform to you. I'm going to have to really lower the mic stand because I really am really very short. So I might get Jessamine to help me with that.
Let's give it up for Joanne Duffy. Yeah, just rotate and then push down. This is the laboratory exam portion of Bright Club. We're a practical. If I could, yes. You're a champ, Gavin. All right, I'm just gonna pop this in here for you. Is that cool?
Sure. Okay, so I trained as a classical singer for a year, and my singing teacher was a complete hippie and probably would hate the fact that I've now written a song about vaccines that I'm going to perform, but sure, look. Okay. You think the vaccinations are some awful kind of threat that really tests my patience, 'cause injections are the best. You think that this is only about your precious child's immunity, when actually vaccinations protect the whole community. Not sufficiently put off by the horrors of whooping cough. No, gluten is your nemesis. You don't care about tetanus. You're unfazed by rubella, the formidable Bordetella, and you're terribly afraid of the bread your mother made. Well, I just can't understand it. I guess I'll never know how you're more afraid of a protein in wheat than you are of polio. You've had the test, your doctor says your child's not celiac, and you're not all that concerned that TB is coming back. This is my appeal to you, to vaccinate your kids. It really does help every one of your fellow hominids. There's people who are sick and old who can't fight off disease, and you're not going to help them by going gluten-free.